Well, we are live, Steve. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lunch and Learn, the real estate edition. We're talking about for sale by owners. Just in case you didn't know what an FSBO was, because it took me a minute to figure it out myself, and I'm a little too deep in the weeds in the realtor community now. So I've got a whole bunch of new acronyms, Steve, that I've learned that I don't think I don't think I can unlearn them now. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. There's some good knowledge. But anyway, everybody, I have Steve Angeline here with me today, subject matter expert on using the mailbox to get for sale by owners to pick up the phone and call you. That's his whole deal. So anyway, Steve, welcome to the Lunch and Learn.
Hey, thanks, Joe. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get used to this Pacific Mountain time because lunch for me was 2 hours ago. Okay, but that's okay. I'm closer to the end of the day than you are here out in the East Coast.
Yeah, definitely. Well, one of the first questions I usually ask, but I don't have Vanessa with me today. So she's in the air traveling back to Utah to meet with us today. But anyway, she's not with us, and we wish she was, but that's okay. We'll struggle through this, Steve. A couple of ugly guys making this thing work, right?
That's it, buddy. We're all good. Old guys stick together, Joe.
There you go. And anyway, I always ask one question: what are you having for lunch today? And please put it in the comments. I'd love to know either what you had or what you're going to have or what you're having now during this lunchtime. I know Pacific time, it's barely lunchtime. Mountain time, it is lunchtime. Central time, you guys are already kind of there and past, and Eastern. Well, anyway, lunch was a couple hours ago, right, Steve?
You got it. Yep, I'm good.
All right. So, Steve, can you just share really quick what we're going to talk about today?
Yeah. So I've only been in real estate for 2.5 years. Okay. I ran my own company for 35 years. I've been in sales for 40 years. The company that I ran is still going today, run by my oldest son, 32-year-old Zach. We import custom baseball caps from China and sell them to Major League sports. We sell them to colleges, race car teams, all custom. Been doing that for 35 years. I retired, and my 23-year-old son at that time announced he wanted to get into real estate. And my wife of 33 years at that time said, "Dad will do it with you." And here I was just now starting to master the clicker for the TV. But then after all, how hard could real estate be? So jumped into real estate, a rude awakening, and slowly but surely learned about real estate. I'm not a cold caller. Don't cold call. And I kind of took offense that this is what's still being taught in the industry after 40, 50 years, that you got to cold call. I personally believe cold call is dying because of the technology now on phones. A lot of the calls aren't even going through. They're going right to the dump. So I figured with 40 years of sales experience, I could come up with a new way of doing this. And I've done that and got our first sale in real estate in January of 2019. And to date, we've done close to about 15 million bucks. So in just a little over 2 years. So,
wow. Well, I love it. I'm glad you're here today. I'm glad we're going to share some of this knowledge. So we're going to go through a few slides, and then we're going to come back and actually Steve's going to jump online and kind of show us the magic and how this works. But I want to say one thing before we get there. What Steve has done is put together a program and a system that if you will use it, the for sale by owners will call you and you will have a new problem on your hands. Yeah. It's called a listing appointment and what to say. Okay. So, you may have the problem right now where I have nobody to talk to, but if you'll deploy what he speaks about today with Mailbox Power, the next problem will be, well, what do I say at a listing appointment? So anyway, that's what I love about what you're teaching, Steve. It's really kind of next level stuff. But let's go ahead and share up.
Yep.
Some slides here and kind of get busy and see what we got going on here. So working the for sale by owners, those crazy people that think they don't need a realtor.
Yes. So probably the best place to start is kind of back into how I became aware of Mailbox Power banner season at that time.
Right.
So so I'm not a caller. Don't cold call. but I still needed to connect with for sale by owners.
Right.
So if you can bring that slide back up there, Joe, about the what I did in 2019. So in 2019, I determined I was going to go to previews, go meet with a open house, FSBO, who was holding an open house. I went on 83 open houses held by FSBOs. And out of those 83 open houses, I had 9 sales, conversion rate of just slightly under 11%. And that turned into $4.6 million in sales. So 2020 comes along, and you can click that slide up, Joe.
Yep.
And so I thought, hey, this is going to be great. I'm going to go on 200 open houses. And our market doesn't heat up until late February into early March. And bango, COVID-19 hits, no more FSBO open houses. So I don't call. I can't go to an open house. How am I going to connect with these people? So I started mailing. Letter, put it in, put a $1 lottery card in there, lick it, stamp, mail it. And that was painful, very painful. And I stumbled across Banner Season. I'm a big proponent of Brandon Mulrennan's FSBO Domination Program. He had educated us about a year and a half ago now on Banner Season. So I dug it out and I said, hey, this has some potential. So I determined I was just going to use Banner Season in 2020 mailing. So I contacted by mail 225 FSBOs. Total mailing was just under 2,400 pieces. Greeting card, giga, postcard, whatever you got. Average mailing was a little over 10 per FSBO. I spent $2,100. Okay. Average spend per FSBO was just slightly over $9. I had 8 closed sales that equaled 4.3 million in sales, conversion rate of about 3.5%, which is interesting with the 3.5%. It's still about double what a cold caller will get. So this worked. And what was interesting, Joe, that's unheard of in real estate, they were calling me. They were texting me. They were emailing me. I got the postcard. You know, I had one guy, the best story of all was that selling a townhouse in Northern Virginia. The owner lives in San Francisco. So not only was he a for sale by owner, he was also an absentee owner living across the country. And he said, I just got your postcard. Tell me about what you're offering. So went through it, got the listing, and I went back to my records. I'd already mailed him 31 times. Okay. But yet he just got that postcard. So the key is you're in their face, you're in their face, you're in their face. And at that point, when they decide they're ready to give up, that's hopefully when they remember you. So that was 2020. Now we go into the current year, and we're off to a great start this year in 2021. So I already have 3 pending sales that are under contract. They're all going to close in the next 10 days, totaling 1.3 million. Current listings, 1, correction, just got one yesterday. So it's now 2 current listings. Total is 1.1 million, all FSBOs, all from mailing. So my current data is 65 FSBOs have been contacted roughly in the first quarter, 450 some mailings, 7 average mailings. I've spent $650. Listings now 5, pending sales 3, total volume 1.3 million, conversion rate 6.1%. I believe my numbers will stay true compared to last year, if not a little bit higher. My goal is to have a conversion rate of between 4 and 5%. I think that's achievable. So the real key with this is, Joe, consistency. Yep. And you've got to find them. You've got to set them up on a mailing program. And then you've got to be consistent. This is not just, I'm going to set up a campaign and let it go. And, hey, baby, bring back the listing to me. No, you've got to work this. Between myself and my sons, we work our FSBO list, Joe, probably between 8 to 10 hours a week. But I don't call. Any realtor, brokerage, coach will tell you, you need to cold call 15 to 20 hours a week. Well, this is my thing. This is what I do. So
I love this. And by the way, I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of something. We do have folks on here that have no idea what banner season is. Our corporate name used to be Banner Season until January 1st of 2021. So we are now Mailbox Power. We were known as Banner Season. So just wanted to clarify that out for everybody else. And by the way, what he's speaking to, we're going to actually show you exactly what he's talking. He's going to build a card right in front of you today.
Right. So what's the next screen you got there, Joe? Or is it?
Oh, we're going to show these postcards. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't we hold right there? Because I'm going to show it as I build this. So it's okay if I'll jump in this and kind of show you how I go about this. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. So you want to show your screen right now?
Let's do this. Yeah. So the very first thing. Let's talk through this first. Okay. Sure. So the very first thing that you want to do is you need to get on Zillow or Trulia, okay? Because people say, where do you get your leads from?
Right.
Okay, I get my leads through Trulia. Trulia is the same as Zillow. Zillow owns Trulia. Okay, so it doesn't matter where you go. There's a tab that says for sale by owner. Click the tab and it brings up those in your area. So I'm going to jump into a tab here, Joe. Let's see if this shows up on your end. So I just clicked that. Can you share my screen?
Absolutely.
Yep. Did I bring that up? Okay. Mm-hmm. So I get on Trulia and I have typed in all the little cities, towns, areas. So this is just one page of 6 on my list. So Dunloring, Fairfax Station, Falls Church, Gainesville, Great Falls, and Haymarket. So I go through my list twice a week, every Monday and every Thursday. I go through my list of FSBOs. I bring out this document. It's a very fancy Word document, Joe. Okay.
Yeah, I can tell. Really fancy. 2 colors even.
Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. And people say, can you use Excel? Yeah, I guess you use Excel. I don't know how to use Excel. I'm a Word guy. So very expensive. So all I do is I list the FSBO right off of Trulia, but I read the listing to see if it's a viable opportunity. I go through the pictures. I just don't, when you buy the data and call from RedX or Vulcan 7 or Mojo, they just give you a list. Here's a list of FSBOs. You're calling everybody, okay? I get on the listing on Zillow or Trulia, for sale by owners, one by one. I type in the name, Dunloring. Here's the property. I then read it. Is there any clues? Is it a real estate agent that owns it? Okay. So I read it and then I look at the pictures. Okay. Is it a dump? I don't want to try to sell a dump. Why do I want to inherit that problem? So let's just go through the first one here. 2395 Shreve Hill Road. It came on Trulia on 3/15/21. So what, about 9 days ago? Mm-hmm. Okay. The value of the property is $1.249 million. So just under one and a quarter million of property. And then it shows you over here what has been established that I'm going to mail them. I set up my mailings in 5-week blocks. Okay. So on March 26th, I'm sending out an LG, code for large postcard. Okay. April 2nd, LG, large postcard. April 9th, greeting card. The 16th and the 23rd, both large postcards. So my chart that I go by, the 5-week drip, looks like this. Okay. My 5-week drip program. Again, it's a math question, Joe, on what you can afford.
Right.
Okay. If you are a new agent, a struggling agent, send out the 37-cent postcard. Stay affordable in your budget. If you can afford it, Send out the larger postcard. It does cost more, but I believe it gives you better bang for your buck. But if you can't afford that bang, better to go cheap. Okay.
Yes.
So this is how my drip looks. Week 1, I just happen to mail. If I find them on a Monday, I mail them on a Tuesday or a Wednesday. If I find them on the Thursday, I mail them on the Friday. So this just happened to be my week 1 is Tuesday, small postcard, week 2, greeting card, small postcard. So that's it. Now, after 5 weeks, if I go back in there and they're still on, repeat it again. Just repeat it over and over. Here's your key. The average FSBO gives up between the 40th day and the 80th day. So you got to be last man standing. Here's your statistics. The first week of FSBO comes on, he averages getting called between 5 and 10 times a day.
Wow.
First week.
Wow.
Here's how it works. After 10 days, 50% of the realtors stop calling. After 20 days, 50% more stop calling. And after 30 days, only 1 or 2 agents are still calling, and I'm still mailing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to be last man standing with that. Now, some off takes of the 5-week program. Yes, if you can. So the 5 weeks, this is going to cost you $2.03 for all 5 weeks if you're using your 50 free greeting cards. After the 50 free greeting cards are up, it goes up to $2.53. If you are mailing the large postcard, it goes up about $1. Okay. So the difference, yes, I go to spend a little bit more money because I'm budgeted it that way. Based on the cost of the property, Joe, I'll also send out here the bottom line you read here. I'll send out that giga after the 13th or 18th mailing. So after they've got going a little bit, right. I'm not going to pick my spots with the giga. I get it. It's going to cost about $5. I don't send it out to the low end values. I send it more out to the high end values, trying to give them a different look, with that. So let's get into Mailbox Power here.
Well, can I ask a question really quick? Do you mind? I want to share something.
Yes, please.
And I'm just going to go back to this is what you gave me, and I put together the slide deck, but yep. I want the audience to understand what's so impactful about a postcard. Don't realtors send out postcards every day? I mean, what's the big deal, Steve? I don't get it. I mean, there's tons of places to send out postcards for realtors. What's the big deal with this?
Great point, Joe. Great point. So when I target a FSBO, I take the picture off of Trulia or Zillow, and I put that on the postcard. I want to make the postcard about them, not me. So what you're looking at right here on the screen is the front of my postcard. The for sale by owner backup plan is what I'm calling it. Interesting enough, Joe, my new templates that I'm starting to use here just now,
right?
Okay, I don't have the for sale by owner backup plan in the middle of the card. I want that picture of the house to stick out.
Right.
So I'm now putting the text just above the picture and below the picture because I want that house. Now, can you go to the backside, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely.
So here's the picture of the house. I try to maximize my verbiage on this card, Joe. Upper left-hand corner is usually where you put the address, return address on there. No, I use that for advertisement. We offer the next best option to selling your home on your own. If it's the wrong address, it's the wrong address. Okay, fine. I blew 37 cents. I'm more interested in them getting that.
Right.
And then I put my verbiage down there. Consider me your FSBO helpline to getting your home sold. Let me know your questions or how I can help you. I then have my own personal tagline that says, if we find the unrepresented buyer, we save you the 2.5%. It's a little controversial. People will say, oh my God, you're giving up both sides of the transaction. I use it as a selling technique.
Right.
It's got me listings. And then at the bottom of the card, I put my address and the email address and the phone number on there. So this is what makes it special. You grab the picture right off of Zillow or Trulia, import it, which I'll show you here in a second, how you load this up. So, fair question, Joe.
Yeah, and that's been a big, it's been a big thing is that
Yes.
when you put that's what they recognize because nobody else is doing that.
Yeah.
You stand out from the crowd, you're different. That's what makes this whole thing kind of work. And then you've got a greeting card as well. So this is the greeting card.
Yeah, so the greeting card, same thing, picture of the house on the front. Again, my new templates will not have the for sale by owner in there. I think it's more important just to have that text above and below the picture,
right?
And have the picture of the house stick out more. So that's what I'm going to try to do with that. So that's the cover. Inside doesn't change. This is the top part of the greeting card. This is this kind of my lingo, the benefits of my backup plan, blah, blah, blah. I
love that. I think everybody should, be able to see this and see exactly, because I think I was saying this earlier, Steve, there's no magic here.
No. But yes, there is. Joe, I can tell you this, there is magic. And if there's anybody on this call that's from Northern Virginia, this don't work at all. Okay. So if you're in Northern Virginia, you're on this call, so it don't work. Joe's giving me big bucks to go over this. It don't work. Don't mail. Don't waste your money. Okay. Got that out of the way. Okay, Joe?
I love it. All right. Thank you.
So then on the bottom half of, again, flexible commission program, saving you thousands of dollars. Okay. Consider me your free FSBO helpline. Okay. And if we find the unrepresented buyer, we save you 2.5%. I can go over that another day. It's a great tagline. It's a great tagline. That's my money line.
Yep.
Back of the card just shows the picture of the house, our logo. I'm not even putting my logo there anymore. I don't want to cover up the house. I want the house to come through with that. So just a little side note, Lori Rose has done a great job in the design store in Mailbox Power. She has templates up there of for sale by owners, absentees, expireds, and put up a listing presentation. There are some designers also that have some other designs in there, but very reasonable. That was my big thing that I like to offer people in my sphere of in Mailbox Power is that here's reasonable templates. Okay, so
awesome.
Why don't we go over that? And so
I had some results there, but that was from somebody else, so we don't have to look at that. But this is just perfect. I mean, that's what I wanted everybody to kind of see, that you can have the magical phrases, just retype them. I mean, it's all right there. But like you were saying, it's about consistency and sticking to it and going, this is what we do, and this is how I do it, and this is what worked for somebody else. Why wouldn't I just do the same thing?
Yeah, and what makes this a little bit different, I use campaigns. I have all my sellers and buyers who have bought from me or have sold through me. I have them on campaigns on Mailbox Power. I'm sending them out a card every month with maintenance tips. I send them out brownies twice a year. That's a campaign. I have it set up, very easy, let it run. It goes for like 2 years. I do this a little bit different. I teach it a little bit different. And so I set up each individual. I set up the postcards, the greeting card, and then I pick the date it wants to go out on its own. So it's a little bit different than setting up a campaign. Is it okay if I show people how I do that now?
I would love that. Definitely. I'm sure they would too.
So let me get on here. Okay, so I've already logged in, and I'm going to go to my save projects, and I've already preloaded my card here, so not to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
Okay, so let's just go to continue editing it, and it comes up. So here's my card. Interesting enough, this is actually one of my FSBOs from last year that I mailed the guy. This was a $850,000 brand new house. It was his wife's dream house. And 2 months after they finished their dream house, they got divorced. So
wow,
it was no longer his dream house.
Oh, no.
So, and he tried to sell it, and it didn't work out. You can tell it didn't even have grass was in it yet. Okay.
Wow.
So all I did was drop in the photo. Okay, and you can do that right up here. It's easy enough. If you need help with that, I've got videos on my YouTube channel that show people how to do that. So that was the front of the card. Here it is, the back of the card. Okay, that this shows that, here's the picture for the card. It's done. It's over. I've established that. So I'm all set with that. And then I'm just going to go back to my saved projects. And what I want to do here is I want to set up my greeting card. So I've set up the postcard. That's all ready to go. And now let's go into the greeting card and get that set up. So while it's loading up, and here it comes. And here's another FSBO that I sold. So I've already preloaded this. The picture of the house is on the front. No changes there. Here's all I'm doing on the inside of the greeting card is dropping that photo right in the background. I do not worry, Joe, about the quality of the photo, because we get this little mark up there that says warning, warning. I don't worry about it. Right. The reason I don't worry about it is because it's their freaking house. If they can't figure out it's their house, then they need glasses. Okay.
Well, and let me respond to Bonnie really quick. So Bonnie, that little red eye that's up there is basically saying the quality of the image may not be as good as it should be to get a good quality print. But the rule of thumb we use here at Mailbox Power is if it looks good on screen, it's going to look good in print. If it looks like crap on your screen, it's not going to print very well. So your choice at that point, but definitely wanted to cover that. And it does happen, a lot, but I can tell you, it always looks great.
Yeah. I did send out one postcard to a guy. His picture on Trulia was out of focus. Okay. He's selling a $900,000 home and his pictures are out of focus. I actually mailed him one with his crappy picture on the front and the inside all over. And my message said, photos don't look the best. I never heard from him, but it was worth the 37 cents to mail him. Okay.
Made you feel better just to tell him.
Yeah, made me feel better. Okay. So this is the bottom half of the greeting card and then the back of the greeting card. So this is just a wonderful thing, right? Okay. Because this won't be blocking the house anymore.
Right.
So there's the inside, there's the inside bottom part, and then the back. This is what catches their attention. Now, Joe, if you got a budget and your budget is good, okay, I have sold several millions of dollars of FSBOs. I probably have a better advertising budget, okay, that I've pegged with this, but I'm staying within my budget. I will send out the postcard that has the picture of the house even on the envelope. Right. Okay. But again, it's not free. It's not counted as one of the free ones. Yeah. It does cost $2.70 some cents. But for me, I mix it in with that because I want to give them a different look. But I don't teach that. I don't suggest that unless you have the budget. Okay. Along with that. So now all we're going to do from here, Joe, is I'm just going to add it to the card. The picture's blurry. Yes, add the thing to the card. I'm good with it. Okay. And so I've added it to the cart.
Okay.
And I believe I have. And then did I add it to the cart? Yep. Okay. Actually, there's my postcard already in there. So the green, I'm going to remove this at this time. So here's my postcard that's in my cart. And I've got that in there. So all I'm going to do is go over to the recipient. Okay. And I'm going to add that recipient or pick them out that's already been in there. And okay, so I'm going to send it to this person right here, John. I go to checkout, and then it brings me to the date. When do I want to schedule this? So I am mailing this out tomorrow, and I'm mailing out the next 5 Fridays. So this is my postcard. If you remember from my chart, it said that the postcards go out week 1, week 2, week 4, and week 5. Like how I did that? Okay. So I'm just going to repeat this now 4 times. I've got it in there. I selected the date for Friday the 26th. I'm just going to add it to the card again. Pick the same person I'm sending to. Send it out on April 2nd, and then repeat it 2 more times with April 16th and the 23rd.
And these are just separate orders that you're being, but you're using the same card. I was trying to answer Rick's question is, are all the cards the same, or does each of the 5-week campaign products differ?
Can or can't. I am more into believing they don't read. Okay. They don't read. Okay. I don't read. Okay. So it's more of a visual thing. That's why I focus more on the house than the text. Okay.
Right.
And so I don't change them anymore. I did originally. Oh my God. I created 5 different postcards with 5 different messages. I can help you sell your house. Oh, you have better pictures you should use. A price reduction is not a good strategy. Gosh, you've been on the market a long time. Maybe you should consider a realtor. And then I realized, you know what? These guys can't read. They can't read. They don't read, and they don't want to read. So same message over and over and over again. The guy I mailed 31 times, who then called me, got the same freaking postcard 31 times in a row. Okay. So yeah. So it's not about reading. And that's why these postcards aren't about us. You know, the realtor pose.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh boy.
Okay. No, don't make the postcard. That's why people send out postcards. They got all this data on there, and they got all this stuff on there, and everything, and all this and that. It's a waste of time. So I set it up individually, Joe, one by one. Put the dates on there.
Yep.
Put the postcard in 4 times. Put the greeting card in 1 time. Done. Over with. And then I check it over and over and over again. So what I'm doing is I'm just going through, and I'm going to switch screens here, Ani, if it's okay.
Yeah, do it.
First one. So here's my list. So I added that postcard, and it's going to go out for the next 5 weeks. And here's the thing. So when I check every Monday morning and I check every Thursday morning, I'm checking for 3 things. Number 1, who's new on the market.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, who's gone off the market. If they've gone off the market, pending, or listed with somebody else, I then cancel the program, go in Mailbox Power, cancel it, cancel any mailings I got left, okay, and delete them from my list, okay?
Yep.
Or the third thing I do on every Monday and every Thursday, so who's new, who's gone off. Third thing is whose drip has to be extended, okay? So as I look on here, okay, so if I went down all 5 or 6 sheets, I would see that, okay, come the 26th of March, that might be the last mailing for 2 or 3 of them. Then I go back in and evaluate them again, okay? You'll also notice here on Trulia, you can see if the person, like this person, Mount Eagle Drive, okay? He's tried to sell his own home now. I know this particular one. He's tried to sell his own home now for 3 years, okay? And what they do is they take it off the market, leave it off for a week, put it back on Zillow or Trulia, and it goes to the top of the list. Leave it there for 3 weeks. Oh, take it off for a week, put it back on. Take it off. So they're called serial listers. I don't mail them. I don't mail serial listers, LLCs, or flippers,
right,
or dumps. Okay, and you'll see right here. This one, 53 Loudon. It's dump. Friggin' picture had a hole in the roof. You know, Joe, that's how I do this. So I know we kind of rushed through this a little bit, but here's the last thing.
Yeah. Let's show it.
Let's just show the last thing here, Joe. This is one of my favorite slides. Okay, consistency. If you think that you can just set this up and have it run on its own, okay, you're wasting your time. We work our FSBOs just like somebody who is a cold caller fiend. And cold caller fiends are those people that cold call 15 to 20 hours a week. God love them. Okay, that's not me, but I am consistent. In fact, if this was really my chart, the letters wouldn't be going down, they'd be going up. Okay, so I wanted to share that with you. I know we kind of rushed through it to get everybody on the same page. Joe, I do have a YouTube channel, Steve Angeline. You can see how I spell my name right there.
Yeah.
My son got me on YouTube. Joe, 4 months ago, I didn't know how to spell YouTube. I thought it was T-U-B. So at 64 years old, Joe, I'm learning new stuff. I'm a YouTuber now, Joe. Okay.
Well, you're teaching now. You're not learning. You're teaching now.
I've got over 300 subscribers. Even my mom hasn't subscribed yet at 93. So I'm trying to teach her how to get on there so she can bump up my numbers and views.
Right. There you go. There you go.
So, but that's how I'm doing it, Joe. So we're tenacious after it. Well, that's a big word. That we're after it. We're consistent with our efforts. We mail. I do it right, and people have called me. I just posted up, Joe, in the Facebook group that you have, the email the guy just sent me, and he said, I got 2 of your postcards in December. He was a FSBO that went off the market. I'm ready to sell. Went over there this weekend, got the listing, $319,000 at a healthy commission. And he tells me after I get the listing, he goes, as soon as we get this sold, he says, I got one 6 stores down. That's the only other one I own here. And he says, that one's a little bit bigger. It'll probably go for about 400. Would you like that listing? Okay. So 2 postcards. Now, Joe, I did go big time. I went 74-cent postcard. Now, I'm not talking the 37-cent ones. So 2 74-cent postcards will be a total listing of over $700,000. So
I love it. Well, Steve,
that's my story, and that's what I'm sticking to, Joe.
Yeah, as you should, because here's what I'm learning from today, and I've learned from you. I've never heard those statistics about the for sale by owners. That knowledge is critical to understand that most of them are going to give up starting at day 40 to day 80. So when you should be contacting them. It's right out of the gate and all the way through. And like you said, what I really loved hearing was it's last man standing.
Yeah,
you have knowledge. If you take that knowledge and use it and apply it, you're going to win.
Yeah.
Other knowledge that you've imparted upon us today, using the picture of the home on the front and back of the card is a big deal because that's what's getting their attention.
Whole deal.
Something else, be consistent. Don't stop. Work it like you would work any business and be consistent and just don't give up on it. And I've learned quite a few other things as well. So the message doesn't so much matter. It's the picture of the dang home.
Yeah.
I love playing with all this data and understanding, kind of how this works. I've never walked a mile in a realtor's shoes, so I don't understand it. And you're pretty new to it. I've talked to lots of realtors. I know that some of them, I've seen them on your page and in our realtor page as well for the Mailbox Power users that, again, right from the very beginning of this, your phone will ring if you'll be consistent and you will do this.
Yeah.
But the next problem is, or the next question is what does your listing appointment look like? And what you're going to say? Because, getting the phone to ring is one thing.
Right.
The second thing is, can you actually go and present this thing?
Yeah, and if I can add just a couple points, we're still good time wise, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
So let me just add a couple things. So one of the pushbacks I hear now from the people, and on my Facebook group and YouTube questions is that, oh my God, this is such a hot market right now. The FSBOs are selling.
Right.
Okay. Yes, the FSBOs are selling. Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not going to mail a FSBO because they're selling. Okay. That's like saying, I'm not going to play the baseball game today because I might not get a hit. Okay. I mail. The bottom line is anybody who teaches cold calling will tell you a great conversion rate on a phone call is if you have 100 solid conversations, you will get 1 or 2 opportunities to list. And my rate on this has been much higher, and people have given me the feedback. I loved your approach. You weren't pushy. You weren't one of these a-holes who called me, okay? And he actually filled in the blank. And so don't worry that they're going off the market. Be consistent. Be consistent. The one that gave me the listing this week that I posted up on, Joe, on your Facebook group, his email, he took his home off the market in December, kept my 2 postcards, and he called me 3 months later. Okay. I got another one in September that he kept me. I said, oh, you emailed me all last summer. And I go, oh, what's your address? And he told me. I go, oh, yeah, I remember that. It's funny. I remember my list, right? And he said, yeah, we took it off the market, but I loved your approach. He said, I want you to list me. I go to settlement tomorrow, $595,000 house for him, a FSBO. So don't worry that they're coming off the market so quick. Get yourself in the game. You will not score on any shot that you never take. Simple as that. And so I just wanted to get that point across, that you got to get in the game, be consistent, get it out there. And then number two, you better have your act together, because don't blame the 37-cent postcard if you didn't get the listing. Okay. If you got the call, you got the text, you got the email, and you don't get the listing, you better look at the guy in the mirror or the woman in the mirror and figure out what you screwed up or could have done better. And I'll be perfectly frank. Okay. You saw my numbers. Okay. Well, I had 5 other ones that I did not get the listing. Got the call, got the text, got the email. I didn't get the listing. Okay. And for a whole bunch of reasons, not my fault, of course, but I didn't get the listing, but I never once blamed that 37-cent postcard. Okay.
Yeah.
Last comment. If you watch Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, right? He tells his dollars to go away and bring back a friend.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my postcards, go out there and bring me back a guy. Okay. I want a seller, bring them back. And that's what they're doing. So, Joe, I appreciate it. And thanks for giving me a forum to tell folks that Mailbox Power works for me. I wish I had this in college. Probably would have been a lot easier date. They didn't have swiping left or right. I just would have mailed out postcards,
Yeah, using List Builder in a whole new way, huh?
Yeah, right.
Well, Steve, I appreciate you. And folks, please go find Steve on YouTube and subscribe to his page. You'll learn a lot. He is really he's the real deal. Been around the block. He's consistent. He knows what he's talking about. I would follow him for sure. You'll find him also if you're a realtor and you're in our Facebook group, which is Mailbox Power Realtors. You'll find him there giving a little instruction and training as well. So, folks, I appreciate you today. Steve, any last words you want to give this audience?
Yeah. Last thing. There's a reason that 87% of all real estate agents fail, and that's because they're not consistent. They're not consistent in their prospecting. And if you want to be successful in real estate, you got to be consistent. So if there's one word you need to learn, that's consistency.
I love it. He's 100% correct, folks. Absolutely right on the money. Well, listen, I appreciate you all taking your time and giving us some of your lunchtime today. Your time is your most valuable asset, and I appreciate you giving some of that to us today. Please, if you're a realtor and you don't know or you have no idea where to find out about Mailbox Power, please contact the person who kind of helped you trip over this video today and ask them how you can get started. There's plenty of ways, plenty of things in the system for you to get started, just like Steve's doing today. Lots of stuff available for you. Anyway, love each and every one of you. If you're a current customer of ours, thank you. I appreciate you more than you will ever know. And if you're not, and you decide to become a customer, I'll love on you just like everybody else. So anyway, have a great day, everybody, and thank you for attending. Bye-bye.